Good morning. Today I am up north. I'm visiting my man, and I wanted to still check out a couple of classes up here while I'm visiting. There might be a time where I move up here, so it's good to know. But today I am doing Pilates, but I was kind of looking at the class and it's like a Pilates class, but they do a lot of the TRX and kettlebells. That kind of intrigues me. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty decent workout. The ladies on the page, they look fit. I'm going to sweat and I'm going to struggle. I'm a little nervous too. I get nervous trying new things. But okay, I got to get ready for that. Okay, I made it to Fitness Social. That's the name of the place. I'm nervous. I don't know why I get so nervous. I'm gonna go. Well, I am back from my workout class, and I really had a good time. I enjoyed myself. My final thoughts on the class. First and foremost, sweat factor. I will give it a solid 7 out of 10. The best way I could describe this class is that it was a mix between mat Pilates and kind of a HIIT circuit training. I didn't use the TRX at all, but we did use kettlebells, and that was actually pretty challenging. We did like a deadlift to squat. We did reverse lunges with like around the world in between your legs when you're down in the hole, and then kettlebell swings. That was pretty challenging. I would say that the kettlebells go up pretty heavy. I was on the higher end of the kettlebells that they had. So I feel like as I progressed, I would definitely cap out at some point. But I really enjoyed the workout. It went by really quickly. It was challenging. It engaged my muscles. I felt good afterwards. 7 out of 10. Next is environment. I was being judgy. I had a preconceived notion on what the studio was going to be like when I got there. It's kind of like in this bougie area, so I just had it in my mind that I was probably not gonna fit in with the people that go there. But I was really happy. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. Everybody was very warm and welcoming. The studio was small, but there were like different rooms. It was very clean. It was well ventilated. Everybody was so sweet, and there were women of different ages, different body types, and the class setting too. I think there were about 5 or 6 students, so the instructor was really able to be hands-on, which I really appreciated. I think the rating I will give the environment would be 10 out of 10. I have no complaints. I loved it there. All right, for the next category, price point. This one is tricky.
Wicked, tricky, fierce.
I can't find the prices anywhere, and the reasoning for that is because it's closing this week forever. I was shocked. I was so shocked, and I was very sad. I was talking to the instructor after the class. I was like, oh, I don't live in the area, but I visit often. I definitely want to come back. And she's like, we're closing this week for good. Excuse me?
Well, excuse me.
I was like, oh my gosh, what? And she said, yeah, like, I guess they can't really compete with the larger Pilates studios, which is a bummer because she said that I asked, I was like, are there any classes that are similar to this one? And she said, no, not really, because all of the other studios are very large studios. They have really long wait times or like a waiting list, and it's just jam-packed. It's not very personable or personal. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's a bummer. It made me sad because this space is really geared towards like a space for women. You know, they even offer daycare for moms who want to work out. And it's really sad that they're closing. I checked on their website online to see if I could find prices, and their page is already down. So they're shutting down everything. But I'm glad I got to experience it. I had a good time, a fun time, which brings me to the last category, fun. 10 out of 10 fun. I definitely would have been a regular there if they weren't closing, and that makes me pretty sad. But overall, I had a great experience. Another day, another fitness class. I have scheduled myself for a boot camp style fitness class. It's only 30 minutes, and that makes me a little scared, but I wanted to try it out, see if I liked it. I've never really been into the boot camp style classes. I just don't like that intensity. I prefer a more like a different type of environment when I'm working out. Some people love the boot camp experience. I don't. This will be interesting, I think. All right. I'm done. Clearly, it was interesting. The classes are only 30 minutes.
Do you know you have 30 minutes? Are you kidding me? 30, yes.
But boy, oh boy, do they really squeeze in a little bit of everything in those 30 minutes. So I'm gonna start with my little list. First and foremost, sweat factor. I will say this is a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. It was all cardio. It was a HIIT class, and you had different little stations, and it was 40 seconds of work, each station 4 times, but twice in like one sitting essentially. So you do 40 seconds on, 5 seconds rest, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds to get your ass to the next station. And we made our way around the room 2 times. So it was like a very cardiovascular based workout. There were some weights. We did ball slams, and there were some like bicep curls that included weight. It doesn't get a full 10 out of 10 because I don't think that it is a very effective workout for personally what I want, which is building muscle. This is like strictly cardio. And to build muscle, you need to have a good rest period in between sets so you can really push your muscles to failure. And that is why the sweat factor is like an 8 or 9 out of 10. But if you're trying to just strictly cardiovascular workout, it's a solid 10 out of 10. It really got my heart rate going. It ended, when did this class end? It ended 40 minutes ago, and my face is still red. I put in work. I did get complimented on my box jumps and my ball slams. He said that my form was perfect, absolutely immaculate. And I said, I know what I'm doing. Okay, next one, environment. I will say that the environment was a solid 8. It was very clean. The ground was interesting. It looked like it was carpeted, but it was very spongy. And so it was fun, and the equipment was new or in pristine condition, and it was nice. It was like a very chill vibe, and the people there, they seem to have a good camaraderie. Like they all seem to be friends. I just want to be included in that. I'm not going to blame them for that. Like, I could have introduced myself, but when I used to do Zumba, whenever we saw a new face, it would be like, oh my gosh, hi, welcome to class. As an introvert, I need an extrovert to come adopt me. And that's how I make friends. I just wait around for an extrovert to choose me.
So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
And maybe that's a me problem. That is totally a me problem. I don't know. I just wanted to be included with like the goofs and the gaffs. I wanted to make friends. And I probably would make friends if I went there consistently. 8 out of 10. Okay, price point. I tried to look online. I searched their website. Their website was a little complicated, and I couldn't really figure out what the pricing was. But I did get this flyer on my way out, and It says you can register for our 8-week transformation program that includes fat loss nutrition plans and coaching for $39 per week. And let me get my little calculator out. That's $312 for 8 weeks. So for a month, that's like $160, just under $160. Do I think that it's worth it? Maybe, to somebody with that kind of income. Personally, no. The workout is 30 minutes. I think that's great especially for people who just want to get in and out and they are really busy. I think any movement is good. And if you can fit that in 30 minutes, I think that's wonderful. For me personally, I don't think that it's worth it money-wise. Also, it could be because I'm broke, but just $156 a month. That's pretty steep. You would have to really go every day to get your money's worth. And I guess some people do, but I want to have a life. So the price point, I'm going to give it a 5. I've seen better. I've seen worse. Final point, fun. I'm going to be honest, it's a 5. I did not have fun. I was dying the entire time. Also, this is totally a me problem. This is TMI, by the way. I've been having problems where I start spotting when I'm ovulating, and that started happening in the middle of class, and so I just could not relax because I could feel myself spotting. 5 out of 10, and it's a me problem. Would I do it again? Probably not. All right, I am back in Ventura, and today I'm actually really excited about this. I'm doing an aerial yoga class. I used to do the aerial silks all the time. That was like a passion of mine. I wasn't that good, but I was obsessed with it. I loved it. And I haven't done it in a couple years. And I'm really excited about this. It's a little different. I'm doing the hammocks. It's different than like the silks, but it's just like a hammock. I've never done that before, but I'm really excited to go in there and try it out. It's at the local mall, which is a little weird, but this mall is like a ghost town, I'm pretty sure, like all malls. But it's just so strange to come to the mall for a workout class, but I'm gonna do that. I'm excited. It's so dead. It's creepy. Hey, it's way later. I just got a little distracted. The day got away from me, but I'm ready to debrief. Okay, so I will say that the class that I took is way different from what I'm normally used to. The classes that I used to take and what I am accustomed to it's like a more acrobatic type of things where it's like 2 long silks hanging from the ceiling and you climb up and you twist yourself in it and you do all these tricks and then you fall out. This is like just a hammock, and the class was more like yoga and Pilates. And the only trick we really did was like an inversion, which is like going upside down, and that was at the very end of class. I remember the instructor was like, you gotta do this, and I was like, oh, it's an inversion, and I just, it wasn't special. That being said, I did enjoy myself. But how much did I enjoy myself? First on the list is sweat factor. Now, you'd think that doing Pilates and yoga with like a suspended element would make it that much more difficult. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give it a 2 out of 10. We did do like single leg glute bridges, a lot of glute isolation exercises. We did like hamstrings, we did a lot of core. Not to toot my own horn, but I have like enough muscle built up where it just wasn't challenging for me. And usually the acrobatic side of it with the long silks that you can climb up, that takes a lot of your strength. And so that is an insane workout because you're pulling yourself up with just your strength and then you're like holding yourself up, and you're like doing a little egg beater, and then boop, and then doop, and then whoop, 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 splits. And you also have to do it while you're like looking pretty and effortless and sexy, sweet, with a smile. That's hard. This was not hard at all. I even like hesitate giving it a 2, but I'm gonna be nice. Environment, I will say that it was a 10 out of 10. I was a little sketched out because it was in my abandoned mall in my hometown, but the facility, it looked brand new. It used to be, oh gosh, what was that store? It's blanking on me. The store that used to sell club clothes in like the 2010s. You know which one I'm talking about. Zara. No, it wasn't a Zara. Along the lines of that. Like a low-end Zara. But anyway, the studio looked brand new. It was just this giant space. It was clean. It was nice. They had their own bathroom. It smelled good. It was bright. It was airy. It was perfect temperature. It was a great environment. Next, price point. I have the prices here. It's expensive. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty expensive. So there's different prices for what I did versus like the more acrobatic side, which I'm guessing is like the hoops and like the circus types of silks. So for what I did, the aerial yoga, the hammock, that is $28 per class. They have a 5-class pack for $120. 10 classes is $218, and 20 is just under $400. I don't think that is worth it for the workout that I did. I mean, I pay $80 for my UFC membership, and I have access to weights, sauna, cardio, a bunch of different classes. I honestly do not believe that doing aerial yoga alone is beneficial for strength and for fitness. But this attracts the same type of people, right? Like your almond mom, your Pilates girl, you're already really skinny. But for a thick bitch like me, I need to maintain my muscle. I need to increase my muscle so I can increase my metabolism. And if I just did this, unfortunately, the aesthetic goals that I have for myself are just not attainable. They have different pricing for the acrobatic side, which I believe you could do by itself. I wouldn't recommend it because I feel like doing cross training where you are lifting heavy weights and doing this is very beneficial. I don't know. I just like the look of women who have more muscle. I feel like it just looks sexier. It makes you look strong, and just having that muscle definition not only helps you climb the silks and maintain the performance, because you're doing it all in the air. You're holding yourself up in the air and you're doing a whole routine, and that can take like a couple of minutes. So it takes a lot of strength and a lot of effort, and so you need muscle. So I think that like you could get away with just doing the acrobatic side by itself, but I would not necessarily recommend it. That being said, this is more pricey than the aerial yoga. Obviously, it's a lot more involved. So for a 60-minute class, it's $42 just for a single class. For a 90-minute class, it's $53, and that's a lot. I will say that this specifically is very pricey. Unfortunately, I just cannot afford that right now. So price point out of 10, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to give you a 3. Last but not least, fun. While I did have fun, this was not what I wanted. I wanted to climb up some silks. I wanted to get wrapped up in it. I wanted to go upside down 10 feet in the air, and I wanted to do a little death drop. And I only did one inversion. And the instructor was like, and I was an inch off the ground. So fun. I'll give it a 5. Overall, I had a good time. I will definitely go back to the studio, but I do not think that the aerial yoga is for me. I would just be doing it for more so the acrobatic side. But yes, I do want to come back. I just need the money.